What's up, guys? How you guys doing tonight? Let me know if you guys can hear me good, how the mix is, all that good stuff. Welcome to Wedding Film School Live, brought to you by YOLO Live, makers of the YOLO box. Really great product if you want a live streaming encoder, switcher, recorder, do it all live streaming device. Go ahead and grab the YOLO box. They've been a great partner of ours. And yeah, you won't regret it. You can make money with live streaming. And this is the easiest way to do it if you're a wedding filmmaker, especially if you're like a person who's doing it on your own. This is the only way I would do it. Anyway, hey guys, it's just me tonight. So got nobody else. We got weddings galore going on. Between all the teams and everybody. If you're shooting a lot, I'd love to hear from you. If you're in the chat, I would also love to hear. Drop a like on this. Let people know that this is the place to be if you're a wedding filmmaker. Wedding filmmaking, it's all we do around here. So we want to be a resource to the community. You know, we got 3 films tonight. We're going to be talking about a special, something cool. We brought up, how many guys were here for Alex and Whitney last week? What a treat that was. I mean, I think having what I would consider to be, you know, pretty much the 2 greatest wedding filmmakers in the world joining us on a live stream reviewing films, pretty incredible. And guess what? You're going to get another chance for them to review your films because they're doing something really cool. You know, if you have not heard of Vision Quest is, I think, the premier wedding filmmaker gathering, at least in the States. And if you're out of the States, I mean, we'd love to have you. It's going to be a great time. But in the States, I think it's the premier wedding filmmaking gathering. It's about 100 filmmakers, some of the best in the world, hanging out in Austin, Texas in September from technically the 20th to the 22nd. But you really want to go on the 19th because that's when the launch party is going to be, and we're going to hang out happy hour. So that'll be fun. But anyway, guys, you got to sign up for this. Guys and girls, you got to sign up for this. Head over there. I'm going to show you guys the trailer for this film or for this festival because you really want to go. It's going to be a great time. So without further ado, just as a reminder, here is Vision Quest. That's Vision Quest. And here's the cool thing. Alex and Whitney were, and I wouldn't say this is exclusive because it's probably not exclusive, but Alex and Whitney were nice enough to kind of collab a little bit on this. And they were nice enough to create an incredible thing for wedding film school people. It's $1,500, Benjamin. 2 days. Technically like 4 days. If you get there on the 19th, there's a big happy hour party. There's a lot of education on the 20th and the 21st. And then the 22nd, we're doing a river ride on a tube, hanging out with And like, here's the cool thing. It's like Philip Bloom, Matt Johnson, all these people are just hanging out. I mean, if you've ever wanted to rub shoulders with the greats, you can go do it. But there's one more thing I want to tell Wedding Film School about, which is this. We got a special LUT pack that Alex Douglas has made from some of his most famous weddings. And this is anybody who signs up for Vision Quest and uses code $75 off. You're also going to get this LUT pack. It's got a couple different LUTs, and then it also has a drone LUT. And these are all based off of some of Alex's just most incredible films that he's done over the years. Some of the iconic looks that he's done, and you guys can get these same looks, put them on your films, and of course they'll look exactly like Alex and Whitney. No difference whatsoever. But yeah, so if you are interested and you're on the fence, I'm telling you, this is the best use of money. I mean, this is what I will say, Benjamin. Who knows? Maybe there's some pay overtime options coming, or who knows what it is, all that stuff. But I would say let me know if that would be helpful, because I can always put a word into Alex and Whitney and let them know what people's needs are and how to get people there, because they want as many people to be able to come as possible and make it as easy as possible to come. The facts are, this got some premier speakers and incredible people. And yeah, this is hopefully a yearly event. Hopefully it is a yearly event. But hey, if you guys are sitting here and you have not smashed that like button, go ahead and hit that like button. We're going to start looking at some films, but I did want to remind you guys, head over. The link is up there. We'll post it one more time. Head over to our site and go ahead and click on that thing and enter the code WFS on checkout. If you're on the fence, is it worth $1,500? I would say I have professional relationships, friendships. I had last week, this is what Vision Quest is, my personal testimony. Last week, I had, on Thursday, I had lunch with Henry Martinez in Boston. Just sat down, we went and had a barbecue, hung out. I had a phone call in the middle of that day, where I was hanging out with, I have Bobby Burns, who I do the channel with now. That's our connection was Vision Quest. Friends over at La Rev, I talked to them on the phone. And then that same day, we had Alex and Whitney on the podcast. Or on the live show. And so like much of my life and friendships and relationships are really, really influenced by the connections I had at Vision Quest. And I think a lot of you guys are probably really hungry for those kind of connections and real authentic friendships, and you will make it at Vision Quest. I promise you that. So without further ado, you guys want to get into some films? I do. Let's do it. So our first film tonight is from, I don't know, somewhat of a regular, and he's a pretty new filmmaker, Tyler Redman. And as we said, I shot on two Blackmagic Pocket 4Ks and a Sony a7 III and a7S II, Mavic 2 Pro for drone, and a Canon DSLR for backup. That's a lot of cameras, bro. We only had one issue where the celebrant played with her mic and somehow she figured out how to turn off the DR10. LOL. I've seen this wedding before, but it's a Disney themed and Marvel themed wedding. So it's got sound bites and Marvel themes. So I'd love to hear what your thoughts are, guys. What do you guys feel about these themed weddings? Do you think they're weird? Are you going to go with it? If a couple says we're doing a pirate wedding, are you going to go all in on a pirate wedding in your edit? Or are you like, no? Like I have mixed feelings on theme-based weddings as a filmmaker personally, but I'm always curious because I feel like a lot of couples ask for them. I hear the one I hear the most, which beyond me why you would want this, but people are like, oh, I want an office style wedding. Like that pops up at least 6 times a year on the forums. Someone asking, has anyone ever done an office style wedding? Could you show me an example? But like some couples want this stuff. And so I'm curious, what are your feelings on that? Would you do it? Would you not want to divert from your style? I'm curious about that. In this film though, I think actually knowing a little bit about Tyler, I'm not really sure this is too off his style, because I think this kind of fits his personal style a little bit. So let's check out his film. Oops. Something's going weird here. Sorry guys, had a weird ATEM mini problem. Now we're good.
In all its forms, is the most powerful weapon we have. Because love is a form of hope, and like hope, love abides. In the face of everything. You both found love with each other. You believed in it, you fought for it, and you waited for it. And now, you're committing to it.
You must go to it.
Which makes you, right now, the two strongest people on this planet.
Don't wait.
I'd rather
But
die.
there's all the money, all the women, even all the comic books in the world. They can't substitute for that one person.
I used to hear a simple song. That was until you came along. Now in its place is something new. I hear it when I look at you.
So let's think about this sequence here a little bit. There's a lot going on, and I kind of wanted to let it play out a little, but it's as a theme, and I'm curious if it continues. A lot of layering happening here, in an almost confusing way. And the other thing I've noticed is, like, sometimes you're introducing audio and you're not really fading it out. You're kind of just going and just cutting it. So, I mean, it's a little, it's a little bit like hard to decipher. So I think when you're making a sound bed that dense, either you want to purposely make it confusing and muddled and almost like create that effect. But I think maybe here you could have done with a little less going on and a little more subtlety, and also making sure you're fading. Like even the water sound that was playing, it was like running water and then cuts. You know, you want to make sure you're fading these things in nice ways. When I hear audio just cut, that's one of the number one things I notice. So I like the idea of using all the sounds, but I think you got a lot going on. I question whether or not having like multiple bits of dialogue overlapping each other was the right call, or maybe just kind of simplifying it a little so you can actually hear what was being said. It could have been for copyright reasons. Maybe you did it that reason. But anyway, moving on.
A river to a valley, an ocean to a stone. The time it takes the edges to become well worn, but with your arms around.
I love you so much, and I can't wait to marry you. And I'm gonna cry now.
That's a really tough. Like the color there is just, something is off about that. I'm curious what camera that is if you're in the chat. And because you can see the lights motivated by the window, and I feel like that should be a pretty nice exposure. It should look nice. So it just looks very purple to me, and under, not saturated enough. It's just, that looks off to me.
Yeah, hopefully she's doing good. I was hoping everybody wasn't stressing her out.
Last I heard, he was extremely nervous, so hopefully he's got his nerves under control.
Lana, you've changed James in every way. You really have. For absolute better.
In general, the white balance throughout this film, the white, like this right here is warmish, natural. This is blue.
In every way.
You know, I think just anyway, I'll tell you at the end kind of more of a thematic concept, I think, about the film. But just I'm noticing a lot of different lighting situations being handled or similar lighting situations being handled differently based on who's shooting what. And I wonder about simplifying what you're doing. Because I noticed you said you had 5 cameras. And I'm wondering if you just simplified it, if you might get a better result. Like A cam, B cam. You know, and made sure they were the same because it looks like you're having a hard time keeping track of all your settings and all your strategy with how you're handling it.
You really have, for absolute better. I never thought I'd see the day that James moved out of his parents' sleep out, let alone seeing him get...
My guess is that it's, by the way, the B-RAW, which if you're not familiar, Canon shoots B-RAW. And because when you see this right here, right, the colors that you're using in your editing platform, your LUT, whatever you're trying to use throughout it, are not doing the weird color stuff. This right here looks nice. This color's nice. Match your cameras to that.
Married. So I really thank you for everything that you've done for him. Yeah, it means a lot. You've been an absolute blessing, and you know, I'm so thankful that you threw yourself at James. You know, I couldn't be a happier best friend today.
Like we've just begun. Feels like we're flying, but it's steady ground. And all the
There's some really nice skin tones too. So like whatever this is right here, that looks really nice. You can see the warmth in his skin. It's a nice looking image. So I'm wondering about kind of whatever this is, do this for your other cameras.
and all the chaos and the quiet. You're my safe and sound.
Then came Alana.
Big audio jump.
You know,
there.
it started with a workplace friendship and then turned into a romance with a little help from some warehouse matchmakers. As many of you know, our family can be a little crazy, loud, and maybe even a little intimidating to outsiders. And I was hoping that we wouldn't scare Alana off.
Not a fan of that.
But we are fiercely loyal and we will do anything for the ones that we love. We could clearly see that Alana was a wonderful, caring person and makes James very happy.
So there's like another example of just a really harsh audio transition where the music just punches in and it just devours the speaker. And I would just say, yeah, don't want to do this.
We could clearly see that Alana was a wonderful, caring person and makes James very happy.
Nice looking. Yeah, there's some more weird skin tones happening that I think there's just so much complexity with shooting with 5 cameras from 3 different camera manufacturers. The black sand is dope, by the way.
To be my legal husband.
To be my legal husband.
To have and to hold.
To have and to hold.
From this day forward.
From this day forward.
For better, for worse.
For better, for worse.
For richer, for poorer.
For richer, for poorer.
In sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health.
To love and cherish always.
To love and cherish always.
Whoa. That's some fast cuts. There you are. No, not a good shot.
Through the years it grows, but time will hold the weight. My love will not change.
You guys aren't dancing. Not just yet, mate. Gotta wait for after midnight.
That's funny. So I got So I got a couple things that I would say about this in general. So let's get into it, huh? So in general, first of all, big improvement. This is only, I believe, his third film, guys. I forgot to give you his story. He said, no, this is not his. Maybe he's done a few more. Next one is the third films, but he's still a pretty new filmmaker, and he's shooting Black Magic. And so if you ever have done that, you know that that's hard. So I will give a lot. Like, there's a lot of growth, a lot of improvement. And I just want to say before I rip into your film that I can see the improvement, Tyler, and I think you're getting better and better. And so, first and foremost, second of all, I see your personality in the film, and I think that's really important. I think to a filmmaker is like, can you insert your personality? Like a moment like this, at the end, that's you. You know, like this is leaning into this session where you're shooting this goofy stuff. You know, that's you. That's letting your personality shine out as a filmmaker. And that's good. You know, I also think even though I don't love the way the intro worked with all those sound design, I'm going to play that one more time for everybody just so we can hear it. But I don't love how it is. I like that you tried to do it, and I think that's your personality. So that's good. I'm going to play this one more time for you guys so you can hear this intro. Give it a little more volume too, maybe.
How do you know what I'm like?
All I know is
In all its forms,
most
is the
amazing
most powerful
person.
weapon we have. It delivers a form of hope, and like hope, love abides. In the face of everything. You both found love with each other. You believed in it, you fought for it,
No matter what
and you
happens to
waited
me,
for it. And now, you're committing to it.
You must go to it.
Which makes you, right now, the two strongest people on this planet.
don't wait.
I'd rather
Because
die.
all the money, all the women, even all the comic books in the world, they can't substitute for that one person.
You were mine.
I used to hear
So there's a lot going on there, and I like the concept, and I bet the couple absolutely loved it. But I would say it could have been a little cleaner. I would have liked to hear it a little cleaner than if it was just, there's so much going on and you're layering it all instead of like letting it. I would have liked it to be a little cleaner and easier to understand. I think it would have been built. It would have built a stronger narrative to the film. And if you're going to go that way, just go that way. So that's the first thing. But in general, you have a lot of white balance issues throughout the film. Very, as much as I see a creative direction, there's a personality. I don't see a visual personality in your films yet. I don't see where you're actually like defining what are my shots like? What kind of shots do I make? What is my color like? Like, what is the style film I'm making? I can see you exploring that. And I see in the edit bay, you're willing to kind of pop it out. And I see that, but I would say like, simplify your approach on the wedding day. It's good to have backups, but I think for you got a lot going on in your brain, and it seems like you need to simplify your approach and kind of focus down on what you do best. The other thing is I actually enjoyed this portrait session, but I'm curious about why you didn't really take advantage of this location more. It seems like you kind of just went over there and like barely shot with people. Like this shot could be so dope. And we got these people in the background, and it's just kind of like there's people all over the place, and it seems rushed. It seems like right here, this is the actual best angle of your wedding day. The movement by those waves, the color you're getting, everything is really beautiful. And I'm wanting more of this. I'm wanting more of this beauty. I want more. Like, this couple was clearly in love. I want to pull that intimacy out of them. Or I would say this. I want the film to be a little more fun, more handheld feeling. This is just what I would see. But I look at this is a great shot. More of this. And like this goofy stuff to me, just because the couple's like, we want a Marvel themed wedding. And this is right here. It's kind of a mess. This sequence right here, how fast it's cut and stuff. I think that they still would like a beautiful wedding film more than that. And there's just so, like, this is out of focus. There's so much of this goofy stuff and so little of this beautiful stuff. But when you find it, it's there and you can clearly execute on it. Like, I'm telling you, if I had that location, I would shoot the crap out of it. Like, that would be, I would be like, can we stay here for another 15 minutes? Can we tell all these people to go away? Can we get all the Avengers out of here and shoot this couple together? And I just think, I think basically, like, get these people away and bring yourself into like a place where you can take advantage of the location. At least get, and I'm telling you, 10, 15 minutes with that couple, even the photographer's there, but when you get them in a different state of mind, removing them from that mosh pit with their wedding party, and you will get totally different stuff. The connection will be much better. And I agree. Sky said the ceremony would have been fine with 3 angles. I agree. I think just in general, the number one thing I want you to take away from this critique, get your colors in line, but really simplify your approach on the wedding day. Focus on your couples. Focus on your couples. Don't focus on your cameras. And really try to pull the intimacy and love and relationship out of them. I want to see that on camera next time. But I think in terms of your personality, I see your personality in the film, and that's important too. So that's a success. So good job. I'm seeing a lot of improvement. What's up, Tyler? I'm seeing a lot of improvement, and that's exciting. There's a lot of good stuff in here. And I think at the end of the day, you're just going to keep getting better and better and better. And I think it's going to start with getting simple and then getting clear and intentional on exactly what you're trying to do. No, we just said a bunch of stuff, Tyler. I did. So I don't have any questions. I think you did a good job. I guess I had a quick question, which is, do you really feel like you needed all those cameras? Or could you have done with only 2, maybe 3 cameras on the wedding day? That's the only question I had. Anyway, we're going to move on to our next film. Tyler, feel free to kind of pop in with questions. The next film is Andrew Barrowman from Barrowman Photo. If I'm saying it wrong, just shout at me. Well, actually, I meant to do this. I want to share Creative Kiwi's site. So this is the last film, Creative Kiwi. And then this is the film we're about to watch right now. So here's what's cool. I'm going to read about the film. All right. So this is Andrew's film, and the wedding film in the books. Their third wedding film in the books, and I think it's my favorite so far. Cool to hear, man. Love seeing new filmmakers and so much guts to submit. So still working through some coloring issues, and I'm not a fan of the quality I got from the A7 III in low light. I got the A7S III, and that's going to be great. You're going to love it. And I'm excited to share the results from my first wedding I filmed with that. Go easy on the green tint on the couple during the ceremony. I will not go easy. I will not. I'm going to go hard on that. They had green accent lights. Ugh, so irritating when that happens. $1,600 for this film. Hey, third film, you're getting $1,600. Keep it up. So, but here's the film. Oh man, green accent lights. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Oh, somebody asked me a question. I do want to get to that. Where was it back here? It said, would I, with my company, does our team take weddings that doesn't fit your theme or something starting you think, would you avoid it? Here's my take on that. First of all, theme-based weddings, there's a difference between like classy theme-based weddings, like, oh, we went with like a 1950s feel, but then it's like Great Gatsby, like really classy and cool, or like somewhat polarizing themes like the one we just saw, which is not going to probably get you many new couples. You know, does the theme let me sell more weddings? That's the question. So would I take the wedding? I probably would take the wedding. Would I show anyone a wedding that had a Marvel theme? No, I would not. I can't imagine. Maybe it would be really cool. And like, it depends on how much of a Marvel theme, like, or some theme. Are we talking like a film where they just were like, their cake was Star Wars, or literally did she wear Princess Leia's space buns and did he dress up like Luke Skywalker? Like, I think it really comes down to taste, having good taste. One you said, is it recommended to film the portrait session? I haven't, as when I started, I felt like the message was don't use a photographer poses. Yes, you should definitely shoot the portrait session. 200%. You should communicate with the photographer and say, hey, you know, I'm just going to be hanging back. I'm going to be on a long lens. Get a 70-200, whatever. But yes. So yeah, totally do it. Just don't be annoying. Be cognizant. Like, I've shot every portrait session I've ever shot at a wedding, and I will continue to do so. Yeah. So yes, no, you should. If you're able to get a separate portrait session, that's awesome, but like, that's very few and far between. Anyway, here is our film from Andrew. So let's check out the film. Whoops. For those that go, why does that always happen to him? I have to switch this output over to channel 3-4 on this Ninja, and I just oftentimes forget. Really strong first shot.
Katie.
No way that's your third wedding. It looks good. Looks real good.
My love, adoration, and commitment to you is beyond what words can describe. In meeting you, I've gained my soulmate.
What a good moment. That's actually your job. What you just did right there is your actual job on a wedding day. Like that, not to get all morbid and stuff, but that dude is quite a bit older than that little girl. That little girl, I'm assuming it's her granddaughter. Who knows when he's going to pass away or whatever. You know, that moment, that connection that they're having there is genuine and real. And that little girl might never get a chance to relive her grandfather in such a way. And especially their relationship, the relationship between her and the grandfather. And you captured that there. And, you know, it's not your fault if you don't capture that. Sometimes these moments don't happen. But when you catch it, you know, it's just, for me, it's really fulfilling when I get to put something like this in my film. And I think it's a good catch. Give you one little bit of advice with the framing. I would have liked it to be with the view this way. Just nudge it a little bit so that your negative space is a little heavier on the other side and not so, or maybe punch it in a little bit. But anyway.
Today I take you to be mine in love. I promise to love you deliberately
Some
and
strange looking
intentionally
light.
every day to
Whoa.
feel your joy.
No crap, they had green lights. Wow, that's horrible looking. I don't know, man. I'm trying to think. What could you have done? What would you guys have done in this situation? What would you guys have done? I want to hear what you guys. What you guys have done in this, because I'm trying to think through. How would I have solved this problem? definitely black and white. This would be in black and white in the film. Definitely. I would put this in black and white. Okay, here's my question. Benjamin. Or not Benjamin. Andrew. So, how long did you know about this? I guess that's my question. Because I've shot 2 weddings recently where the lighting was really bad, and I was able to whip out the Aperture 60X and do fill light with that. Is that something you could have done? So if you could have done that, you should have done that. If you couldn't do that, I would have just probably planned on putting it in black and white. But yeah, that's probably what I would have done. So anyway.
My own.
I'm noticing a lot of tilts throughout the film.
I vow to make your goals, passions, and dreams my own. I vow to be your biggest cheerleader during life's successes and will always be there for you during life setbacks.
Because it doesn't look that bad there.
I vow to celebrate all that you are to
It's
help
really
you
nice.
become the person you aspire to be.
Okay, here's a little pointer, guys.
Aspire to be.
This is not always possible, but I think it's close to like whenever you're shooting a ceremony where someone's coming inside from outside, always do the white balance for the inside where they're going to walk into and not for the outside. And this is another reason not to use auto white balance, because when you pointed it there, it's going to go, there's a lot of blue light, and it's going to white balance it for blue. When they walk in there, it's going to make them so yellow. I would rather the light, maybe split the difference a little, but basically like try to get it so that when they walk into the shot, that the skin tones are that it's a little less yellow, and it's not terrible, but I would like to see this skin tones a little cooler. And it looks like it's perfectly white balanced when they're back here. Like that's really, really nice looking right there. And then they walk in, it's beautiful, 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 beautiful. And then yellow light. So kind of anticipating those shifts, and just letting the back, that's my opinion. I think it looked nice, but I would probably lean towards having a longer shot, because she's going to be walking down the aisle longer, perfectly white balanced, and not her walking in be perfectly white balanced. That's probably how it. There's a lot of challenging things. You're making judgment calls here. Yeah, the grandpa shot's incredible.
Your dreams are my dreams, and I vow to help you fulfill the promise of your life.
It's nice. Good color in that bridge. Awesome bridge. Weird pose. I don't like that. Stop showing me it.
Today, I give you my heart to be forever united with yours.
Yes. I would say when you're doing one of those, and they hold it up like that, I don't like it. Like, I don't want to see the shot of them holding it. What I'm going to put in my film is when I'll be like, hey, can we release that? Can we just throw that in the air just so it has like nice natural motion? I don't really like when like, it might look good in the photos, even though I think it looks cheesy as crap. But letting the thing fall instead of just having a floating veil. So maybe put that action in there and the more natural action instead of the photographer's pose.
Heading out on our own with our hope in the clouds, and we're starting to see that we're onto something. Feel it coming, we'll keep
this looks good.
Nothing in our way, and we got no reason to wait. Let the journey take you where
it's overexposed, them walking.
We'll continue to find our way through anything we face.
Yeah. Blue buildings. Maybe could have warmed this image up a little bit, but it's great movement. The lines that you're getting, the verticality, and the way that it's drawing your eyes to the distance, kind of tells a story, right? They're moving forward in their future. Really cool shot. Yeah, but I would agree. Maybe a little too much headroom on the framing. I kind of chalked up this to maybe looking at this and going, you wanted to show more of the buildings, more of the bridge. So
We got what it takes.
weird. So this is my thing. Photographer poses are not video poses. So like, this is a pose, and I would say, get them to like, this is a great, I'll give you like a prompt phrase that works really good. Saying to them like, hey, I want you guys to kiss and just smile out of the kiss. Smile out of the kiss. I've heard a couple photographers say that because they want as many good poses as possible. You know, like even like the way that guy's clenching his eyes and it just looks pained. It doesn't look natural. And if they were kind of kissing and then coming out of that pose and smiling, I think that would have been much nicer and more natural looking.
Here we go.
Good punch though.
Begins.
And your mom and I couldn't be happier because now we can sit back and we are confident that we can enjoy the ride because you're in great hands. You are Peter's Rock, and your best is yet to come.
Katie and Peter, may you share.
Look how good the
May you share.
You stupid editor. Me. Look how awesome that rim lighting is on the bride's shoulder and her hair. Looks awesome. Look, that's good lighting. Yeah, it's good use. And you know, I'm always looking for like, how can you show me the couple and let me feel the guests, because I feel like that matters to them. And I like that I can see these smiling faces, and to the best of my ability, if I'm shooting a dance, I want to be able to also see people in the background, even if they're nice and blurred out like this. I think it's a good shot, good looking.
You share in a marriage where you are each other's greatest of all time.
Here we go. All we need is an open road and a chance to see a never-ending world that's beautiful.
You can see the noise that you're talking about in these shots.
Here we go with the sunlight on our skin. It's a brand new day. It's ours to take, and we will let it in. This is where the adventure begins.
This is a shot to me that you can't screw up, and for a lot of reasons. Like, you clearly had some time with them, and there's good energy here too. And it's not framed right. It's overexposed. I would say take these moments and get them right. Get these shots right. And because you only have them on top of the building for so long. Yeah. And I'm gonna give I'll give that dance floor feedback. I see that and I feel that too, guys. But this shot right here really bums me out because I feel like you had a great opportunity, and so I would just say it's your third wedding. It's all good. As you get more experience, taking this moment and slowing this moment down and actually getting the exact shots that you want, and like whatever light you have there, it's just not. It's motivated too low. You got to get it higher.
To begin. Here we go.
Nice little kiss on
Loving
punch on
you
the
is a
beat.
privilege, and one that I will always cherish.
Okay, so a lot of stuff to like. Really, I'll just jump to editing before I get to shooting, because I think the editing is really tight. you know, I think there's a couple parts where you maybe could have punched a little faster with your edits and given us a little more punctuation. But I think the editing is really good. The structure of the film is excellent. Like, you used a lot of sound bites, but not too many. You kind of kept it moving. There was good, I mean, really solid. Like, I mean, you look professional in how you edit, and I think your shooting has a lot of good moments too. I think there's some things. The number one thing I would give you as feedback is, if you're using a gimbal, there's a lot of steps in your gimbal. And if you're not using gimbal, you might want to get a gimbal, because it looks to me like you want to shoot with the gimbal. That being said, I think there's a couple things some people have pointed out, and I noticed as well. I brought up white balance. Throughout the film, your white balance is kind of all over the place, and your exposure is, your white balance is okay, but your exposure is all over the place, and it gets overexposed a lot, and just kind of like watching that. But I think from a composition standpoint and a shot decision standpoint is where I think you can grow the most. You know, the dance floor is one place where, so portraits and dance floor are two places where you need intimacy. And to either feel energy, like feel the sweat, feel the, like whatever that groove is of the night. And then during portrait sessions, you need a sense of intimacy, like to get you in and out. And like when you're getting to a shot like this shot right here, which is not to say that this is like, these are like great shots or whatever, but they're pulling me into the crowd. And so I just think in general, like this shot, like get in there, get on that dance floor, get in there close, especially if you're shooting on a wide angle lens. If you're not comfortable in general, maybe get a wider, like a longer lens. I think there's two things I'll tell you. First of all, compositionally, watch your headroom, make sure it's motivated by a reason and not just giving people too much headroom all the time. Get in closer. Young filmmakers are often nervous to invade people's space, but I'm telling you, if you communicate well, it's really not an issue. Get in closer, give that sense of intimacy and connection with the couple. You want to see their eyes. You want to see them. You want to feel and experience the thing. And they do too, you know, those moments, getting into the inner world. Party too. Get on that dance floor, get in close. I think like throughout the film, I was wanting to be closer. I was wanting to feel more connected. I felt like I was almost floating in the distance watching the film. And then the other thing is, in the edit, when you have something horrible, like the green light, I would definitely make that black and white. That's not something I would tell you have to do. I'm just telling you, like, I wouldn't put footage that bad looking in any of my films, because I think other people are not going to be understanding. You know, like if you showed that to another couple, I wouldn't be comfortable trashing my couple, saying, no, these people had terrible taste. They wanted to do this terrible thing. So I would just end up, I would make it black and white so I wouldn't have to have that conversation. And so I could actually use it. But I think there's a lot of good stuff. Yeah, I mean, I really think that this is awesome for your third wedding film. Really, really good. Guys, just give them a nice little claps down there in the chat. Let them know how great it is. While we're sitting here, I just want to remind you guys, this live stream is brought to you by the YOLO Box. If you need an all-in-one live streaming, recording, and coding, and actually coming soon, the YOLO Box Pro, by the way. If you need one of those all-in-one devices, head over to YOLO Box, or head over to wherever you buy stuff. You can click on our link. It helps our channel. The other thing that helps our channel is just becoming a member. If you are a person that wants to have your preference, here's a couple things. Membership is going to go a bunch of different ways. We are going to be doing we're still doing the preferred reviews for members, but we're also going to be doing some members only events coming up soon. Online events, of course. And so I would give you guys, if you wonder where you can do that, just there's a join button down there. We really want to build this up. And the biggest thing is it really helps this channel. This channel's a lot of work. We're putting in a lot of time, and we want to keep doing this for you guys. And so any way you can help out the channel, even if it's by buying links or buying products on our descriptions, going over to Vision Quest, sending us a super chat, or becoming a member. All that stuff helps a lot keep Wedding Film School going, and there's a lot of people involved in this team, and we're loving what we're doing. If you would like to submit a film, I'm going to send the link in the chat. Head over here, submit a film. We pretty much pick our films by like 2-3 o'clock the day of the live stream. So if we don't have it in, chances are we will not be able to. I see some members, by the way, down there. Thank you guys so much for being members of Wedding Film School. We love your films, but we really appreciate the support and the trust. The other thing I was going to say is, if you've never listened to our podcast, we have a podcast going. We're always like, what should we do with this podcast? Should we start a new channel? Should we keep going in on this channel? But no matter what we decide to do, I think that kind of learning really matters and really helps. This week, we have somebody on the podcast, Ryan R. Brown from Forged in the North. If you've not seen his films, oh man, he's such a good filmmaker. It's live right now on wherever you can listen to podcasts, and then kind of working around the schedule for the YouTube release, but the premiere is tomorrow. If you want to watch the film, it's premiering tomorrow, the episode with Ryan Brown from Forged in the North. Really wonderful. If you're into kind of edgy handheld, but also personal, and just, I wouldn't call it hipsterish, I would just say cool, really cool wedding films. What they do at Forged in the North is super special. Again, I wanted to remind you guys about the LUT pack from Sculpting with Time. If you head over to the Vision Quest thing, and sorry there's all these commercials, by the way, who cares about this crap, these dumb commercials? No, honestly, we wouldn't talk about things that we didn't think were awesome. Vision Quest, September 20th through 22nd in Austin. Head over there, get a ticket, $75 off, plus a free pack of LUTs from Sculpting with Time, from some of their most iconic films. Alex Douglas made this. I'm sure he's giving them to other people, but I was like, hey, let's do a LUT pack. And so he made this for you guys and for anyone who's looking to sign up for wedding or for to go to Vision Quest. So I think what a cool thing to get is a pack of LUTs. So you'll be exactly like Sculpting with Time, because we all know all it takes to look exactly like a filmmaker is their LUTs, right? That's what it takes, right? So anyway, without further ado, we're going to watch our final film tonight. This is a cool film, and so I wanted to save it for last. But also, this is just the film that actually happened to be last, so I don't want to act like I'm so intentional or whatever when I'm really just pick the film. But it's a good one to end on. This is by Alex Martinez from Alex Martinez Films. He shot on, I believe, Lumix S1s, highlight and documentary edit. And this is just a beautiful film. You guys are going to really like it. So we're going to check this film out. Here we go. If it will ever play.
Jenny and Anthony, tonight is a night that you will remember for the rest of your lives. Take a moment to be completely still. Be totally present in this moment right now. I want you to remember the faces that you see here. Remember how this place looks. Remember the smells. But most of all, remember how you feel right now. You two couldn't be more perfect for each other. As long as you keep God at the center of your marriage, you can conquer anything together.
How could I possibly put into words what you mean to me? Nothing that I could put on paper or say out loud could ever convey just how much I love and adore you. You really are the best human being I know. We've been on this beautiful journey together for 11 years, and I thank God every day it's you standing in front of me. I know in my heart that God created us for each other, two halves of one whole. You're my best friend. You're my true soulmate, the absolute love of my whole life.
memories we have shared are like stars in the sky or sand at the shoreline, innumerable, vast and exponentially multiplying. When I'm old and looking back on my life, from the moment I saw you until present day, I can't wait to remember our journey, like my favorite movie that will play on an endless loop in my mind.
They've been together, 10, 11 years, and they had such a tender love for each other. And the one word I would share is genuine.
Friends and family, we're gathered here at this hour to witness the miracle of love, to celebrate the coming together of two separate lives, Anthony and Jennifer. God has placed his hand on each of them. And today is not only the culmination of what has already taken place in their lives, but the very beginning of an excellent future together.
With this ring, I thee wed, and with all my worldly goods, I give to thee, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. I am watching you.
With this ring, I thee wed, and with all my worldly goods, I give to thee, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
I am listening.
As a minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ, and by the laws that are vested in me in the state of Florida, I pronounce you husband and wife. Anthony, you may kiss your bride.
Anthony, I'm so happy that you're meant to be for my sister. I love you both so much, and I'm so elated for this next chapter in your life. Hopefully it brings babies and lots of travel.
It's the dawn of a new life for you, so live happy forever as lovers and friends. As you stand here together with love in your eyes from the moment you whisper, I do, and with the prayers of all your loved ones gathered here today, may all your hopes and your dreams come true. Tomorrow will bring you the greatest of joys, but today is the day it all starts.
So, I wanted to let that one play through because in a lot of ways, it's pretty perfect and it doesn't really have anything wrong. It has one thing wrong with it that I don't like. But the rest of the film is more, how do we level up? How do we take this to the next freaking level? And because I think there is another level for this filmmaker. The thing I noticed as a criticism of the editing was the way that you were ducking the audio, where it was like, I'll just try to find some. What you're going to notice is they will talk and you'll hear the audio go like it has either a compressor or like a ducker on it or something. And then right when it's over, it goes through. It says like the ramp for where I'm a stickler on this. The way audio moves in and out. I think that was, I noticed as a negative. I will say it's not, we'll get into the level because these are not problems. This is like what I think.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
It's not in the middle. It's got to be when the song's big.
This ring, I thee wed, and with all my worldly goods, I give to thee, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Right there.
as a minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ,
Like every time someone,
by the laws that are vested in me in the state of Florida,
every time someone's
I
talking,
pronounce
it
you
goes,
husband and wife. Anthony, you may kiss your bride.
so just the way it fades a few places, it could be smoother and less of like a shelf. You want it to be a nice grade. But anyway, okay, so let's level this thing up. First and foremost, amazing looking, beautiful couple. I mean, these people are freaking babes, and like the dad, these people are cool, man. Like beautiful location. I mean, very well spoken. I mean, and you just nailed it. Some of these, I just want to look at a couple of shots. Like, oh my God, do I love this shot? There's so much to love about this shot.
In my mind.
Beautiful here, not this shot. First of all, her dress. Just, you know, she's gonna love that you're featuring her back, you know, because she clearly put work into that. And then you have the movement on these walls. I mean, you're just talking about like the lighting, everything. It's cool. I wish you didn't show me this part, to be honest, because it's like, I don't want to see the handrails. I was imagining I was friggin' like in Greece or something, seeing that other shot. But regardless, like there's so many good shots. I could go down the line. Like the shot you have of them entering in. I love this
I give to
coming
thee,
up.
in the name of the Father, the Son, and the...
When he, right when they kiss. Where is it? Come on. Give each other your little smoocheroo. But I love the reactions these people give and the personalities that are reflected. That right there. So cool. Like the isolation. It's got like almost like the way you use light throughout the film. There's so much isolation, and I like the hardness of a lot of the lines with the lighting. I think that's a cool approach to lighting, creating vignettes. Like I love that face he made right there, and then I like, where is it? Oh yeah, dude, these people are fun. It's cool.
Right.
Yeah. Let's just enjoy that moment right there. Like that's cool. Like that's cool. Really beautiful shot. Let me say this. I think your portrait session, you know, Alex always says something, and he's a great filmmaker, and I think someone who you can really look at their films to help you level up, because when I look at this, I'm like, this is how I'm going to put it. I'm going to show my whole shot so I say it. You got to put a little hot sauce on it. You got to put a little hot sauce on that. It needs a little heat. Like, this film needs some sizzle. It needs a little more sex appeal. It needs, like, energy on that dance floor. It needs, like, some really cool B-roll. It just, like, you got to think, how do I elevate it? Because you're nailing everything. And it's, like, technically very perfect. I'm just wondering if there isn't more creatively in you where you can really like show me something, wow me, surprise me, like take me somewhere I wasn't expecting, make me more intimate with the couple than I was like. I just feel like you can do that. You can do that. Like you have the chops, and I'm not sure what the limitation was. It seems like you didn't get a ton of time with the couple, but I'm just feeling like, you know, Alex said something where he's like, every part of my film, when I'm crafting my film, I want you to be constantly surprised by what you see next, right? And that's not every type of filmmaker. Some of us like are just trying to connect you or make you feel familiar, or like we're not all trying to constantly make you feel surprised, but it needs a little more. I'm going to show you something that, you know, it's weird when I show people my films because I don't know, I just don't view myself as like this great filmmaker, but at the end of the day, you know, this wedding reminds me of another wedding that I shot myself. And so I think this could be helpful for you if I played this film, because I think it's like a similar type of wedding, and I feel like we executed in some ways. So we're gonna end this where I'm gonna show you a film, and we won't watch the whole thing, but I'll just show you some parts where I feel like we were able to do some things a little differently that I think really made the film special. And I think ultimately, like, when you're a good shooter and you kind of have all your ducks in a row and you don't need help getting through those basics anymore, then it's not about can I make a good film, because like you can make a good film in your sleep. Like, you don't need to make a good film. You need to make a great film. That's what's next for you. I'll play some background music while I dink around with this. I'm not saying this is a great film, by the way. I'm just saying this is the best way I know to describe what I'm kind of trying to get at, because, you know, when we started doing these films, I started going, how can I bring our stuff to another level? How can I do something really fascinating and interesting? How can I... So this is our attempt at being interesting and we had a concept here, and I just think like the film could benefit from some stuff like that. So I'm gonna no. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to show you what I mean. This is a film that we did New Year's Eve. It was a local Red Sox player, and she was a child actress, I guess. But so this is actually the first wedding I ever shot on Blackmagic, the first wedding I ever edited in DaVinci Resolve. So there's some things in it where I'm like, oh, I didn't do that so good, but regardless.
Celebrate family itself, and let's do it by having a big frickin' party. Big frickin' party that they can hear all the way up in heaven.
Very striking from both of them that they have pursued their dreams, and they continue to pursue. But in living those dreams, they came to learn that two is better than one. It is important that we follow our dreams, but it is nothing compared to the great, great wisdom of God, that we do not have to be alone. So this is why Jesus said that this is what heaven is going to be like. This is why we should enjoy this day as deeply and as fully as we can. And at the same time, we should remember that it is nothing compared to what John and Kara will now experience. Something more deep, more lasting, more joyous than having your dreams fulfilled.
So this was all, by the way, shot all Blackmagic cameras, all manually focused, even the gimbal camera, with Canon Cine lenses. This next thing is what I mean by hot sauce. After her, you might have catched on to it. Her father passed away right before the wedding, or maybe not right before, a couple months. And I'm always looking for an emotional thread I can pull, but also something meaningful. I don't want to just manipulate people, but I want them to feel like, especially if a dad passed away, I want him to feel like he was part of the day. That was a dolly zoom effect in DaVinci. But so this is a voicemail that her dad left her. And we put it over all the moments her dad would have been in. The dad first look, the first dance. So this is her dad coming up in the film. So get ready to have the tears.
Hey, it's me if you got a minute. It's nothing urgent. I'm going to be on a conference call from 1 till probably 2, and then on the road coming down to see you. But I would like to address one thing that's on my mind relative to the conversation we had this morning. I want to make it clear to you, I will never, ever again in my life be disappointed in you in any way, shape, or form because of who you are. The only time I'm ever going to be disappointed is if you're not living your dream within your means and your abilities. And that is something you've always done your entire life. So to think otherwise is crazy. And I want to just share with you a little bit more of that when you have an opportunity. So I'll talk to you later.
The last time I was with all of you was to eulogize my father. And so it's fitting that this time we're here to talk about another man whose life is now over. John Francis Andreoli.
So, you know, still learning a lot on my end. But, Carlos did not like our film. So, sorry, Carlos. I'm not afraid to slow it down a lot because I'm looking at, like, the emotional punch I wanted to have when I brought that dad's voice in. And then also the dynamic punch I wanted to have when we brought in that dream sequence, which was we lit that with actual, like, RGB quasars in a room with mirrors. And we actually set that up separately, brought the couple in separately. Because at these big party weddings, we didn't even get a portrait session, if you didn't notice. There's no portrait session with the couple, except for that one session with the lights. Yeah, that's the only session we got. And so, yeah, I like the music. I think it was dope. But I respect your opinion. And at the end of the day, music is a tough thing because it's ultimately like, does it fit the day? You know, what style are you trying to do? Is it luxury or who knows? So definitely, I might actually speed that edit up in the future. We're actually doing a cut for a submission for an award show that will be much shorter. But my point is this: for the previous film that we were talking for, I believe his name's Alex Martinez. Not to say that we're the best filmmakers at all. You, I think, in a lot of ways, shoot better than us. But what I would say is what I think we did successfully is we had a concept throughout the film. We had a couple edgy moments, but also some very personal moments. It's still a wedding film. And just kind of like, I knew, like, for instance, we stayed till 2 a.m. to shoot all that cleanup stuff in the intro. Because I'm like, this is going to be, you know, we pulled into that other, like, that session we did with the people where, like, we're like, please, can I just have 10 minutes with you? And we lit the room for 30 minutes before they got there. Like, these luxury weddings, you don't have this time to go with these couples. So you have to be doing pre-production, planning, and just going to other next level to really elevate your films beyond just being incredibly well shot. And so I think for Alex, like, if you watch that film, you want to watch one of Alex, people with much better than us. They're just doing that extra thing to take their films to that extra level. I'm just trying to go to that extra level. You're probably going to do it better than I will. So anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for, you're welcome there, Benjamin. I mean, it's not really a flex. It's like literally the first wedding I ever shot with that camera and the first edit I ever did in that program. So hopefully I can do a lot better than that. But thank you guys so much for checking out the show. I always remind you guys to head over to check out the YOLO box. We just want to thank them so much for being a sponsor of the show. If you need a live streaming device, this is a good one. Here you go. And then also I want to remind you guys, if you want to have your films reviewed, head over here and submit there. And then, of course, most importantly, I want to hang out with you guys. If you guys come down there, I saw John and Nick doing free breakfast. I'll do breakfast with you guys every day. How about that? If you buy tickets, I'll get breakfast with you every single day and lunch. No, I won't do that. But yeah, head on over there and we'll definitely hang out. Me and Jared will be down at Vision Quest and we are looking forward to hanging out with you guys. You're all the best. Love Wedding Film School. Thank you guys for supporting us. I know the content's kind of slowed down because we've been absolutely blasted by weddings, but I promise you it's going to pick up again soon. We got a BTS in the works being edited. We got a couple other videos being edited. So, yeah. Have a great night, guys.